this morning, many messages have already been delivered. And I retained the concept of accessibility, and the physical accessibility to the material on the internet, the financial accessibility, accessibility to the understanding, no jargon, simplification, and for being accessible. Then, to motivate people, skills must be accessible to all of us, to all. That's what has been said by Cecilia Ugaz, and I think it was a very important message. Okay, so now let's start today with our speaker. What do they think? First, we are going to set the scene. And to do this, Daniela Chiti of Peugeot will give us a brief overview. Daniela is a digital learning specialist. She's working in the automotive industry for 30 years, where she has acquired a strong experience in training platform, e-learning. I would like to point out that her experience also includes SMEs, because she works with and for the car makers network, not only the big car makers. So that you get to know her better, I will tell you that Daniela, besides e-learning, she cooks wonderful pasta, like just only Italians know how to do it. Daniela, the floor is yours. Thank you for joining us.
I'm going to try to share a little PowerPoint because I think it's easier to work with a PowerPoint. Very quickly, why do we need to develop our skills all lifelong? That's the first question we have to answer. And the first thing is that company must educate employees on career development. Before talking about training, we should talk about career development. Why? To stay on the job, to keep technical skills up to date, of course, to improve one's professional efficiency, whatever, time management, stress management, assertiveness, meeting management, etc. Give new responsibilities, develop managerial skills, for instance, change of job, obtain a diploma or certificate, or stay on the loop and observe market trends and job evolutions. First of all, we need to have a professional environment that improves productivity, because companies need productivity, So first of all, we need personal professional blooming. That means company must manage the level of stress and discomfort, get rid of gloom and routine. And this is the application, what we call the Danish style management. Work less but more efficiently, horizontal management, structure, and creative levels. Employees must trust their companies. If there are strategic changes, something new on the business, employees should be the first to know. Recognition of employees' work. The employee must be quoted in result and communication papers, and highlight the work carried out of the successful operation, the success of events, for instance. We must define the corporate culture and values. We must stress and zoom on the culture and the values of the company. Recall the company's values and communicate them to all employees. We must promote group cohesion, bring employees together and create a team spirit. And this is very important. This is a tool that should be settled in all companies, is the annual professional interview. Employees should discuss the future of their jobs, the efficiency to be fulfilled in their current job. We must protect the professional development. We must see what is the knowledge and skills to be developed. And once a year, this must be discussed between the manager and the employee. The needs to stay on the job must be defined also. This is what we will see later on. And finally, we must build the skills development plan. And this must be signed between the manager and the employee. And last but not least, training and skills development. In terms of training, the company must take into account the qualifications, the current qualifications of the employee, but what we should stress on is to strengthen, to check the strengths and the human qualities of each employee, to build a real career plan or radical changes if needed. We must be conscious that training is mandatory. Training must be applied to everyone and through all the career of an employee. We should prefer blended training programs, a mix of face-to-face training, on-job training, and digital training. I will stress for this later on. What is very important is assessment along the training course. Assessment is a way to improve and motivate on the training. A course should provide a pre-training positioning global assessment. What is the gap to be filled? How much effort do we have to provide? A progress chart sum up is to be provided also. Intermediate evaluations with provision of a summary sheet after each training module. Questionnaires to anchor knowledge after each training module. Smartphone micro questionnaires to remind what we have learned. Then post-training positioning global assessment. This is very important to know where we are and what we are, what level we have been reached. Recording of results in the personal development plan, certificate, degrees, registration, etc. And the last thing is to evaluate and register the result of the training in the annual report. And maybe this will lead to change of position, bonuses, various rewards to be settled. And this is the reminder of the training methods that are available to support the training. We can use the coaching, guide the person in this is what we call the learning by doing. This is very important. This is the trend of training today, and all these tools are usable to learn on the job. The coaching, the mentoring. Mentoring means that the manager is involved in the training of the employee. We can use case studies, facilitate the understanding of the theoretical notions. Scenarios playing, force participants to play a role and imagine different scenarios. And group work, of course. It is essential for learning to be helped by colleagues. Of course, we have traditional training with face-to-face training sessions. We have distance training also, alternative to face-to-face training, and represent less restrictive training solution, but requires excellent self-discipline. This is very important. We can have synchronous or asynchronous trainings. We can have multi-device support to display this distance training. computers, smartphones. We can have blended or full online training. Blending means distance training plus on-job training or plus face-to-face training sessions. And also we can be trained by applying to conferences and trade fairs show, like today, for instance, allowed to update knowledge, get the opinion of experts and meet peers.
So we will be back to you, Daniela, later. Keep in your mind that maybe we can ask you the same question. How do you may play a role in small companies, micro company when they are 10? How can you implement such kind of support of tool or way of doing process in small company? However, we will be back to you, and please listen. I saw that you mentioned mentoring, etc., and that's great because Aneta Petrovska, welcome, will be now the next speaker. I already almost informed the participant that you will be there, Aneta. So what can I say from you, that you are the head of the human resource department at the VN, which is an energy company that operates of a Macedonian market. Outside of your business, you are actively promoting the apprenticeship, and that's and promote learning in general. And you know very well the training, and you are the vice president for the VET at the Macedonian Employer Organization. We know each other for several years, and I must say that another information about you, it is your great capacity of working late, working during holidays sometimes. Dear Aneta, can you let us know what did you do or what does EVN make for motivating employees or future employees to learn new skills? Daniela just talked about mentoring, but I think that maybe you can talk about that. Thank you so much for joining us, and the floor is yours, Aneta. Please.
Thanks, Didier. Our learning and development strategy outlines the needed capabilities, skills, and competencies by our EVN Macedonia group, and how we develop our workforce skills and competencies to fulfill our goals in a sustainable way. We have aligned over the past years our learning and development strategy with our recruitment strategy. We have established several talent management pipelines or talent pipelines and talent management programs. One of it that you are most aware of is the Project 2020, Sustainable Talent Pipeline for Technicians. The reality and the demographic challenge of an aging workforce of electrical technicians, in addition to the many major challenges in front of the energy sector at the moment, smart technologies, green power, expense optimization, modernization, liberalization, regulation, is the new reality. So the response of EVN Macedonia to overcome the challenge and to balance the supply and demand of skilled workforce, while at the same time investing in sustainable future of the VET system, is done through partnership with the world of work, our company, the education, the government sector, and other private businesses. We have a very big portion of our workforce which will be lost rapidly over the next 10 years due to retirement and turnover. But these employees from the older generations possess undocumented and documented knowledge, experience, and competencies, which we try to transfer to the youngest generation in order to support and upgrade the sustainable energy system. So I've said there is a big gap, not only in our sector, but for our sector, we have several ways how to deal with it. One is the long-term staffing plans, partnership with educational institutions, continuing education and training programs, active involvement in industry organization, through employers organization, chambers of commerce, and also internal employee development and knowledge sharing programs. There is a matrix that we use for workforce, which is guiding us how to develop the employees, because now we have a mix between traditional and modern grid, and we have employees who are 17 years old and employees who are 67 years old. So what we do in a very simple language, and due to time pressure, I will try to summarize it. We define learning outcomes, and we try then to support the development and to improve the soft skills and the technical skills of our employees through various tools and measures. So we have career development ladder, for instance, for the position technicians. And then for each stage of development, we have a clear set of criteria, and through various programs, training programs, on-the-job training, mentoring and coaching, we try to develop those employees. And we try always to have in place quality assurance mechanisms. For each stage, we ask sometimes too many questions, but for us it is important to timely adjust and improve the criteria and the outcomes, of course. Very important, the critical knowledge and the new knowledge. So the critical knowledge is done through mentoring and coaching of the new colleagues, and the new knowledge is done through training and development opportunities. We have in-company trainers, it was mentioned before, but we have put most of our efforts for the new skills and onboarding and development of new employees, because we will lose 40% of our workforce in the next 10 years in mentors. For mentors, we have developed a competence model containing soft skills which are evaluated via behavioral-based interviews and assessment. And we have also set standards for technical knowledge. What is also done is a regular workshop with the mentors, regular evaluation by the mentees. And what we have experienced is higher engagement, regular feedback, and adaptation of the programs on a real-time basis in order to have the added value that we foresee with these programs. Our approach towards upskilling has been to have clear criteria set for the employees' career development and supporting their progress on the company career ladder, combined with periodic development measures and assessments of skills and competencies. At the moment, it is a matter of personal choice of the employees, as the interest is on higher level. So we don't have experience in imposing certain development measures on the employees, but motivation is done through financial and non-financial incentives, and equal opportunities are provided for all employees who fulfill the criteria. Closing, or last but not least, it is very important. I don't know whether it was mentioned during the sessions today, the culture as a catalyst of the learning, development, upskilling, and reskilling. Companies or organizations need to develop strong learning culture and should have it always as a goal. And we do that as well, as we continue to invest in both national education system and our people. I'm here, so in case, Didier, if you have any questions, I can follow up afterwards.
Of course, I've got many questions. Thank you so much, Aneta. But also, I would like that the participant ask question. I can check in the Q&A. There is no a lot of questions, but whatever, I've got the question. I hope that you're going to have the answer. Well, it's always difficult, because I should say that I take from your intervention importance on that. But here you mentioned a lot of things. The mentoring, mention also something that it's not always highlighted, it is the flexibility of the content. We always talk about the flexibility modules, etc., but the flexibility of content, so how you adapt very quickly, that's an issue. Of course, the pipeline of talent and the career development. If you want to offer someone, if you want to attract the people, if you want to attract and to ask them to learn new skills, you have also to offer them a career development. That's an issue. And finally, you ask about the culture, the company culture. It has been mentioned by Daniela just before you from Peugeot. It is one of the issue. So okay, thank you so much. But we will be back. There is the question session. Thanks a lot, Aneta. Please stay with us. Then now we are going to listen, and we are welcoming again Ayşe Erdem, who works as a training and brand standard senior manager at Gıda, that is operating in the food sector in Turkey since 1994.
94, exactly.
Yes, that's great. So I learned. The company is a country leading quick service restaurants. Correct me, operator, if I'm wrong. And I can say that you acquired the skill and experience all around Europe, from London to Madrid and to Istanbul. So you like travel. And besides the taste of travel, I know that you are very fond of purple. And the colors, it is life. So I know that Gıda set an academy. Can you tell us about these tools? How this tool is helping to motivate employees, and including how you are managing the recruitment? Because it was very interesting what Anna said about the recruitment, because they are aligning the recruitment, etc. But I know it sounds to you also, so it could be the lead. Thank you so much, Ayşe Erdem. Thank you, Ayşe. Your floor is yours. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Didier. And I'm really happy to be the part of it, and myself and as a company as well. Thank you for the invitation. First of all, I would like to say, yeah, you are completely right. We are one of the biggest master franchisees in the world. We are having 6 brands. 4 of them is the global brands, and 2 of them is the local brands. And we are right now currently operating in quick service industry. So as you said, Top Academy is one of the pillars that we are having, one of the projects. I will explain about this, but first of all, I would like to say about there are that many ways to motivate employees and to learn new skills and to move on with their career life. I will briefly explaining about this. And right now, currently, we are facing like so many changes in the industry as well, and in the work life that we are having. So pandemic is one of the reasons that we are having so rapidly the changes. And so especially the people who are digital knowledgeable and flexible under the certain circumstances, they have the positive advantage. And as a company, so to deal with these changes and how to motivate our employees to learn new skills and to improve our processes, we are just like working very hard on these systems also. So first of all, I would like to start mentioning about the training that we are having. This is one of the key pillars that we are having working in Top Gıda. So as we are in the quick service industry, we have the brand standards and the operational procedures that should be performed and highly performed in a certain level. That's why we have the team members, when they recruit at the first, he or she is provided with a very concrete training plan and with the career progression as well. So a new team member, before they come to start in Top Gıda, they know exactly what are the steps they need to take and what are the skills they will need in order to proceed. So having a very clear information and the career path, so this is motivates employees, and also they have the opportunity for themselves to better decide whatever they want from the future. So we start the training plan. The plan is with the orientation process. So at the very beginning, and we provide the basic training plan, and we have the safety and health and hygiene standards, as well as the occupational health and safety trainings. So apart from these, we have the trainings that are like really basic that they need to know. And we have the training system is very up to date, and we just like constantly improving our systems according to the new platforms. So before, I mean, as Daniela said, we have, so she was mentioning about the on-the-job training, face-to-face training, and the distance training. And I would like to say that we are definitely following all these 3 steps. Before the pandemic, face-to-face competence training was taking a big part in our training system. But right now we have those with the digital, with the distance training, and again with still on hands coaching, and with the face-to-face again, we are combining all these training plans. And with the digitalization, so I am sure that so many companies, they just really focused on the digitalization, and the pandemic duration has really helped, as at least assisted to the companies to integrate their systems into the digitalization. And Top Gıda also has started the digital systems prior to pandemic, and with the pandemic, it's just helped us to really speed up the process and complete all our digital platforms. And for the Top Academy, I just want to mention about this. So for the Top Academy, we have this project. It's been this project was like implemented many years ago, and it has become one of the reference point for other companies also. And what we are doing with this Top Academy, first of all, we collaborated with the universities, and we have designed 5 specific projects, 5 specific courses with the Open University for our restaurant team. So we have started this project, as I said, 4 years ago, and every course is related to the level of the job. And it differs in terms of the subject. So, for instance, they have the first aid, the conflict and stress management, the communication skills, and so performance management, interview techniques, and etc. So the duration of the course is 3 months, and after these 3 months, they have the exam and they receive the certificate. So before the pandemic, so we have done like a very big graduation party, and we have rewarded the ones who has got the highest graduation score. And we have like so many candidates that are participating to these courses every year. And this is one of the ways to upskill them. So because they have the deeper understanding of every position, and also with the technical knowledge, they have the opportunity to reflect this to their job and to their career life immediately. And also, I would like to state that I am really happy to say this. With this project, we won the award here in the industry, and it's called the Retail Sun Award. This is one of the projects that is being awarded by the industry. And so I'm just going to speed up a bit. So in addition, the career processes of our employees are evaluated in many ways. So we have another project which is called Talent Pool. And in order to increase the personal motivation of our employees, we guide them to determine their goals for the future and how to plan their careers for these goals. So this is why we have the talent pool, and I'm really happy to say that this project is running very successfully currently. At the same time, we are supporting our employees who are participating in this project with the internal and external trainings. And the people who are participating are differentiated according to their own skills. So we determine their individual career maps and guide them accordingly, prepare them for the future managerial position, and support them. And people are chosen according to the specific criteria that we have, and they receive a tailored plan training. So, for instance, the people who are in the talent pool not only receive operational training, but they receive the time management, personal communication, whatever skills that they need to improve, they receive especially those training topics. And this is being done with our performance evaluation. So we are evaluating first, and we understand what are the skills that they need to improve and what are the skills that they are really good at. And then we provide them with the training plan also. And this is why it's the tailored training plan for them. And in addition, shall I just summarize? So,
yes.
Okay, so I'm just summarizing. And plus, Daniela was saying that communication is really important for the employees to know everything, what is happening, for instance, and what are the roles, what are the steps they need to take. And so all this information is really vital for them. And we have like a really good communication systems within Top Gıda. We have For instance, the magazine, every 3 months that we are publishing this magazine, we have the incentive programs, also performance evaluation systems, and we have the ethical line where the employees can share their experiences as well. And all these, we are using this as a motivational part. So just to summarize, again, we are in a very dynamic industry, and the skills are needed are changing constantly, and that's why we are developing our and updating our systems. And one of the important thing is just like, to foresee the future and to prepare for the change before change becomes a must. Thank you so much.
If I don't trust you, I'm going to have a heart attack because of the time. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, you're on time, in fact, because we lose a little bit late. So there are many things also in your speech. I would like to underline 2 things. First of all, what I like, it is a win-win. And the company are not always thinking about their return on the investment. If they are also thinking about their employees, it means that they but the fact that you train them, it is also an opportunity for them for growing up. That's the first issue. The second issue, it is about the career. So to propose to something like that, to a future. That's and it is common. You're the third speaker, and that's always highlighted. So if we want to motivate people, we don't. In French, we say we don't attract flies with vinegar. Of course, it means that if you want to motivate people, you have also to offer them something. Okay, thank you so much. We will be back to you. There are not still a lot of questions, but whatever, I've got questions. Thanks. Thank you, Ayşe. Thanks a lot. Now we are welcoming Farrukh Alimdjanov. He's Industrial Development Officer inside the Department of Digitalization Technology and Innovation at the UNIDO. UNIDO, that is our, the host for the all LKDF forum. Thanks again. He is responsible for the formulation and implementation of the UNIDO Technical Cooperation project and focusing mainly on industrial design, modernization, and branding. And also digital transformation. He's also, and I like to say that, he's also fluent in French. Imagine there are some people talking in French and he's fluent, and I'm very happy. He's also a great sense of humor, and that is a proof that it is a proof of intelligence. Dear Farrukh, can you tell us how through a sectoral training center you achieve to motivate people? Thanks, the floor is yours. À toi de parler. Merci.
Merci beaucoup, Didier. Thank you so much. It's a great pleasure, great opportunity for us to indeed share our experience, how we did motivate young specialists to gain new skills. And to the very question of yours, I like the question, how to actually motivate people to learn new skills. I think I will maybe repeating your words, the words of the previous speakers. We need, I think, to give a clear perspective to the young specialists of the future application of their skills or upgraded skills they're learning about. And of course, along with, in combination with the certain socioeconomic gains, we need to show them the change. What the time they're investing to, what the learning time or experience they're investing to will turn out at the end of the year, month, or like the entire learning cycle. So also following the same scenario, better visualize, I would like to also show some photographs. I will not bother you with any slides, but with some photographs of just to depict better how we were doing it in a country, Armenia. I see that you're seeing my screen. When we started our project on upgrading textile industry in Armenia, there was a situation when the textile sector was losing the ground. Yeah, they were exporting, but less and less. Those companies who were exporting starting to lose their export markets. And we started to dig how we can fix it, how we can improve the competitiveness of this small country, which is only oriented towards export market. And we thought about industrial design as an application. In front of you, you can see these beautiful ladies. They are actually graduates from a number of fashion schools, architectural schools. Though what we found, their skills were far away from the industry, whilst the industry were producing this type of produce, which was not market oriented, which was not harmonized. there were missing industrial designers, whilst the country was producing talented designers who were at the end ending up with basically small boutiques, not giving big socio-economic impact, neither to their families nor to the entire industry. So what we did, we first introduced the industrial design topic to the fashion school. We prepared trainers, so we made training of trainers, and we prepared the specialists, the mentors, so that afterwards to build the new designs together with the companies, to build the new lines, the new higher value added produced for this middle income country, and to apply those skills at the enterprise level. You can see the companies we were working with, the training, the mentoring exercises depicted there. And what we achieved by, let's say, in 3 years, from this type of produce, we came up with this type of very modern, attractive, and big market-oriented products under the global brand, which were shown in different fairs and exhibitions, and also covering then the shoe sector as well, along with the textile sector. And this project also helped us, and design skills also helped us to support companies not to stop during the COVID time and to continue producing and actually addressing the needs of the Ministry of Health of the country. So just few figures, and this is very important. As I said, it's very important to see the change. So in the developmental world, we want to see the change of what we're investing to. So in 3 years, the industry could triple exports and more than double employment at the company. So we increased 2.5 times the employment in the sector. And what is also important is to see a return on investment, because Didier was mentioning return on investment is very important. We invested time and money for this project, and only through the tax return, the money which were invested to the technical assistance for the training activities were paid back nearly twice. So we were very happy to support the companies themselves. You can see the happy people at the companies. But having seen this experience of having this small, working with a small fashion center to achieve such big goals, we created a specialized center for supporting the textile sector, which is called Space 59 Trend Makers, where we teach the classroom training, the theory, but also we are very happy to support the mentoring, the practical activities of pattern making, of grading, also supporting the shoe sector, following the trends, but also since 2 years ago, we started to be called trend makers because we're giving our new trends to the big markets, and at the big exhibitions we were already being copied. And this is of our special pride, because we are talking about digitalization these days. So we have the special room for the DigiSpace, where we're happy to learn the electronic design, the electronic pattern making using this special applications and tools, and then putting them to the industrial scale, preparing the trainers for the companies as well. And as a result, we see more people coming to the center. There is more people, young people, talented people who are thinking their future is in design, who feel that they can bring with their skills, with their talents, more to the industrial scale and more to the country in terms of socio-economic impacts. And here I would like to stop just to show these happy faces with diplomas being obtained. And this is, what can we see, a better motivation for the young people, for young, especially ladies, you can see in this sector, to bring the change to their life and to bring the change, transformation to the entire industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Farrukh. I should say to the other speaker, he was also expecting just to use 2 slides, but sometimes you have to negotiate. So Please forgive me. Thank you so much. Okay, I like whatever. I like the picture because the picture, it is also people. Training, it is also human being. I would like to highlight from what you've said. It is for attracting, for motivating. It is also to offer the right skills to meet company needs, because usually we say yes, the company needs etc., but also the training center should offer the right skills with the right tools, and that's what you've said. They were preparing old-fashioned, that it is not matching with what the company would say. So that for motivating, also you have to offer the right skills. That's this. Okay, so thank you so much. Now we are in the part of the thanks for all your contribution. They're all interesting. We've seen that there is not a red thread. There is not magic stick, by the way, but at least there are solutions, and the solution that should be implemented. And what I like, it is also we heard from the training center, but we heard from companies. And what you have said, Daniela, has been taken into account. I've got a question that's for Aneta, and it was also something that Daniel mentioned. It was about the culture, the learning culture in the company. And the question from Christine van den Heden is, how do you develop this learning culture in the company, Aneta?
You need acceptance by all levels of the organization. It's not something that you can impose. Okay, from tomorrow we have learning culture. We have started with the tone from the top. So we have clear statement by the top management about the future company needs and the commitment towards developing those needs. Then on the level of senior management, what we have done is, for example, like one measure, because I cannot explain everything, but what was interesting for us. We have done a very comprehensive mentoring development program. And when we train mentors, we didn't train only first level contact of the new employees or of the apprentices. We have trained mentor from all levels of the organization. We have trained technicians, engineers, team leaders, managers, and senior managers. So one way how to do it, besides tone from the top, is training all people involved in learning and development, and that is never only HR. We have many engineers who are now mentors, and we are also measuring their feedback and their engagement. So there is a sense of pride of mentors or of people who transfer knowledge, because in that way they're securing sustainable future of the company. Then we do regular workshops with people involved in learning and development. We are also asking the younger generation what is interesting about learning culture, because it's not only one way or top down. What has happened was very interesting, the reverse mentoring, because we have the youngest generation, as I said, 17-year-olds, who are more than 12 hours before screen. So they can also train the older colleagues who are 10 years until retirement in digital skills. The sense of pride I mentioned, and I also would like to say that we have now a set of competencies for each position, and we encourage employees to take part in trainings that are obligatory, but we also offer many development opportunities which are optional. And it is interesting that most of the employees who are interested in career progression and career development take also part in the optional trainings. I hope I have partly answered the question.
You perfectly answered. You perfectly answered by the fact that everybody is involved at all the level, but also to give opportunities to each other. So it means that the people are most involved. In fact, we've got 5 minutes. We've got only 6 minutes. So instead of asking you question, I've got a question for all of you. I would like to ask all of you. It was said this morning, and I would like also, what would you be the key takeaways you would like us to take away from your speech and of what you said? Just one issue, and two, because I know that Farrukh will negotiate. But one, what would be the takeaway you want to send to the audience? So Daniela first, because we're gonna go how we have it has been speech. Daniela, if I'm talking about just one takeaway.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, please. Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Actually, what I think would be very successful is to help companies to settle incentive for trainees. Any kind of incentive, actually, to help companies to develop the individual career of one employee. This is very important, because there's one thing we didn't. You talk a little easy. You said we developed some incentives. I think that this is the key to make understand old employees, let's say, to train.
Okay.
Because
Sorry, Daniela, because we don't have a lot of time. But incentives.
Yeah, sorry.
Thanks, Aneta, and be quick, because then I have to give the floor to Manuela.
To learn from each other, not to have strict goals regarding top-down and ex-cathedra training, but to be a bit fluid between the borders, who is teaching who, and also to very carefully choose mentors, because they are responsible for our future workforce, and they should be really one of the best employees in the company, who are willing to transfer knowledge and who are really engaged at the work they do.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So mentors and to learn to each other. Ayşe, please.
Just to leave a minute to Manuela, I will just say it in 3 words. So, learning and development, career plan, and incentive.
Perfect. I love you. Farrukh, thank you so much.
I will not negotiate. I will also make it short. I'll just maybe repeat myself. It's very important to motivate. I think that the takeaway is related to the motivation to upgrade the skills. To motivate, we really need to show the change to those whom we would like to upgrade, whose skills we want to upgrade, and as this would be the clear stimulus for them to move forward and to contribute more to their companies, to their economies, to their countries.
Okay, now I have to give the floor to Manuela. Manuela, okay, yes, she's the head of the unit, and she's my boss. So you have to be kind with her. But also, she has worked. She's working in ETF for now 10, 15, 13 years. And but before she was working at the ADB and the World Bank. And what I like also to say that she's a kind of Wonder Woman. I'd say that not because she's my boss, but you know, she's a reflexology. She has 4 children. She's the head of unit, and now she's going to summarize in 2 minutes all what we've said in 1 hour. Thanks, thank you for coming and joining us, Manuela. We've got 1 minute. For once, I'm going to replace my boss. So I would say that for attracting people, you have to offer them something in comparison, and to attract them is also to embark them in the culture of the company. You have also to provide a career opportunity. We've seen that, and what it is important is the right skills for the company, matching with the company. You should not only expecting that, and the mentoring close to the people. That's something it's very we have to highlight. I'm sorry, Manuela, she's fighting against the technology. Now I'm sorry for that. I would like to thank all of you for being there. I would like to thank our speaker and Manuela. Thanks a lot for fighting against the technology. But we know that we have been said this morning that I think that is 1/3 of the population doesn't have access to internet. Thank you so much. Thank you to UNIDO, and thank for your contribution. Bye bye.
Thank
I
you
wish
so
you a
much.
good day. Bye bye.